I think I have inner child syndrome.
Wow.
I grew up thinking that I want to prove myself
Yeah.
because I need the attention from my parents. I can see that my parents care a lot more to my elder sister and my younger brother. But actually, I'm the most, my academic performance is the best among all of us. So that's also like getting me to prove myself, to stand out from my siblings. And I enjoy having a younger brother. I'm more closer to my younger brother compared to my sister because I don't know, we just click very much more than my sister. And growing up with them is quite it's like a very typical Chinese family. We are not very close to each other. We don't really talk about life very seriously to each other. I feel like we are hiding something from each other, and then we just keep it to ourselves and figure out ourselves. That's pretty much like in Butterworth family.
Okay. It's a non-Christian family, right?
Yeah, it's a non-Christian family.
Yeah.
It's
Buddhist?
like a Taoist Buddhist.
Okay.
You know, like Malaysian Chinese, the religion is a bit campur and like Taoist Buddhist. Yeah. So my parents would like worship the Taoism gods. We also worship our ancestors, all those things lah.
Yeah. Okay. Were you really into being a Taoist / Buddhist?
No. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
I was just following the tradition, thinking that religion is something that I am already attached to when I am already born into that family.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't really into Buddhism or Taoism. I'm not a religious person, although I just follow my parents to do those practices.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like to be in that family is also to actually practice what they practice in their religion.
Yeah.
So I don't really put a lot of thoughts into religion. I just feel like there's something that come with you when you're born into this family. I think I believe that it's God.
Yeah.
I just don't know which one is the true one, because you know, in my religion back then, you will worship like different kind of gods, and then you would think that different gods have different function. You go to a god for a purpose, you go to another god for another purpose. So I actually can't quite make sense like why there are so many gods for different purposes. If God is so powerful, then why don't just have one God? Yeah. So I can't really figure out which one is the true one, although like the images is quite scary. But I still can't see that they are actually true God, like a creator God kind. Yeah. So I think as a non-Christian, seeing those kind of gods, having that statues in my house, I don't really see them as creator. I just can't make sense, like how are they creator of the whole world? They look very small, like it's like a handmade statue, so I can't make sense of it, but I still don't know how to work it out. But I believe that there must be a creator, because this whole universe, even human body is also complex, and things are existing in a very unique and beautiful way. I feel like there must be a creator God, but I just don't know which one is the true one.
Right.
So because those questions are very hard to work out, so just leave it there at the back of my mind, and then no one would know how to answer, so I wouldn't even ask this to anyone, like to try to work out. It's just like I think that those questions are just a very mysterious questions that no one can actually know how to answer.
Yeah.
Like different people can have different answers. As long as you find the answers true to yourself, then okay already. But I don't think that's the way to answer those questions. So I just leave it there lor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just live my life trying to prove myself in my family, just trying to be a responsible doctor and student. That was my
Yeah.
non-Christian life.
So those unanswered questions, right? Did they frustrate you a lot growing up, or you just like kind of throw it to the back of your mind?
No frustration.
Yeah.
Although I have a few moments just looking at the sky and I was just like daydreaming. Like, why am I here in this world?
It's existential.
Yeah, very
crisis kind of
existential.
thing. Yeah.
Which one is the true God? Is there any God? What happened after life? What's my purpose here on this earth? It's just like hanging around my mind, but it doesn't really frustrate me because you can never get answers ma. So
Yeah.
just leave it there lah, and I have something more important to do, like my exam, friends, my family, money, entertainment.
Sounds like you were really ambitious. So did you have an end goal in life that you were striving for?
I was very ambitious about helping people who are in need. That's why I chose to study healthcare courses actually last time. Yeah, because I can see that people out there in the world, they really need help, and in order to actually make the world better, I should use my ability to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also it's the one way to prove that I am capable lah. I can show that my value to people, that actually people need me, I'm important.
Yeah.
It's all my upbringing lah. That's my ambition. So although sometimes the existential questions will just pop up in my mind out of nowhere, like in a random time, but no one actually talked to me about those things. It's just me and myself in my own world, in my own mind, trying to work out, but to no avail, then just leave it there lor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, right, do you think if someone approached you and kind of challenged you or told you actually there's an answer to these questions, do you think you would have been resistant to it, or do you think...
No, I think I will be very interested.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that how you became Christian?
Yes. Yeah, so I went to uni, so I left Penang and then I came to KL, Masa University, because I want to study physiotherapy, like a healthcare course. So physiotherapy, so my counselors back in my secondary school, they would recommend me to go Masa, so I chose my Masa. So in Masa, I have a it's coursemate. He is a Christian, so I don't know why, like we just became a gang, friends. Yeah. So he's a Christian, and then he goes to church very regularly. So we became very close because we are in one friends group lah. So I started to be very curious, like why is he so committed to going to church? Like I have Christian friends back then in my secondary school, but they weren't that kind of committed, devoted Christian. So I was wondering, hey, why this guy so different one, like different from all my Christian secondary school friends. So and then he invited me to Geddit, Geddit. Yeah. And I was really curious to find out Christianity because I want to know what kind of religion it is that got this friend to be so committed to Christianity. So it's like I want to check out. Very, very curious. So I actually signed up for all Geddits. I choose all the sessions because I really want to come for all and trying to find out what it is as a whole. So that's when I first came to CRC. So to the talk, right? So Pastor Robin was preaching, and I still remember he wear a, I think he injured his arm. He wear an arm sling. I was like, this guy is quite weird. Like, if he injured himself, why he still want to preach? So that picture I still remember. He's a very weird speaker, but I tried to understand what he was saying, but I couldn't understand. Although I think if I'm gonna listen now, I think I will understand because my English back then wasn't very good, so it's very hard for me to actually listen to a English speaking speaker. So what would a person who is not very good at English, what they will tend to do is just to look at the slides, the pictures, or the Bible verses. So I want to try to like get most out of the talk. So I just try to look at the slides lor, and then write down all the verses lor. But I couldn't really understand what he was talking about. But it's towards the end of the talk, right? He's wrapping up already his sermon, and then he was showing a slide. The slide was the most impactful message to me after the whole talk. It was saying on the slide, there are three statements, 3 sentences. It says, thank you. So the you is God lah. Thank you. You are worthy. How can I serve you? Yeah. So I was thinking, oh yeah, actually, if I know there is God in this world, like He created everything, He even gave life to me, why wouldn't I seek for this God and be thankful to Him and trying to find out how can I, as His creature, serve Him? So why am I living a life as if like I gave myself this life? Why I actually don't give thanks to the Creator who put food on my table? Why am I not thankful to to this God who gave oxygen to me so that I can breathe every day to survive? So my existential questions in my childhood, they all came back to my mind, and then I started to think that actually I cannot escape from those questions anymore. So after that, I keep coming to the other Geddit sessions, and then I also went to the growth groups last time. Yeah, and trying to read the Bible, trying to understand, and as I went more and more, my English also get better, so I can understand more lah. So there is no, I think in my conversion, I don't really have a moment where I became a Christian, like I want to be a Christian to follow Jesus. Like there is no such a very clear cut moment lah. It's a process where I get to learn the gospel more and more clearly. And I remember after a few sessions of Geddit, I think after 2 months, there's this GGF event. So GGF is what CRC is supporting, a parachurch organization. So GGF I think it's in May. So I went to Geddit in March, and then in May they have this FWC, Fellow Workers Conference. It was about discipleship, the gospel and discipleship. So actually I didn't really want to go one, because I feel like this is like for Christians, like for those who really became a Christian for a very long time and they are like into ministry already. So I actually don't feel like I'm going. But after that, I don't know why I was going already. I just signed up like naturally. Yeah, it just happened. So I went to that conference, and the conference was teaching us about how to use the booklet, the resource, it's called Solid, yeah, to know how to read the Bible with someone, to know how to disciple people. So it was a very good event to my life, because this is where I actually get more clarity about what the gospel is, because solid is a very concise. I wouldn't say simple, because there are a lot of like complicated stuff going on that I didn't understand, but I feel like solid is a very solid booklet, a PFU, I mean person follow-up material to use, and for me as a new Christian, I think that was a very good event that I went to get a very clear gospel understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think Christianity has shaped your worldview?
I think Christianity is centered around God, right? Like the concept of God, creator, is very strong.
Yeah.
That you can never talk about anything without God. I think that was a very impressive element when I went to church and learned about Christianity. You will never find any religion that talks about God so much. Yeah. So as an existential person, I think Christianity just woke me up to show God in front of my face, and
Yeah.
you shouldn't just live this life without God, and you must think that this whole world and even your life is under God's control, and your life without God is a wasteful life, and you should feel a futility of your life if you are living without God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea of God is very strong.
Yeah, I would think that would help a lot in helping you, shape what your ambition should be as well, right? Because you mentioned when you were a non-Christian, you had a lot of ambition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say Christianity has totally changed your understanding of what your ambition should be?
Yeah, I think when I kind of became a Christian, I don't really care about ambition anymore. I just focus on trying to know God, and focus on church, focus on trying to tell people why I believe in this religion. Yeah. I think after I become a Christian, so okay, after Geddit, right, the first few Geddits, so there's this girl, she is in my GG. She's kind of like a leader lah, assistant leader lah. So she is trying to care about me because I'm a very new Christian. So she's trying to read Bible with me. She even came to my uni and go to the library and then read Bible with me. I can remember. I think it's after first two Geddits. I can't remember. Yeah. So Christianity is still very new to me. And then she was reading the Bible with me on Luke. And I can't remember the verses exactly, like which chapter, but it was about the cost of discipleship. Yeah. And then it was quite a very shocking session. It was very short, but it's very shocking because it shows me that being a Christian is not just about trying to put a little faith in Jesus, but if you really know that God is important in your life, and knowing how you have failed to be His creation, be His people, and if Jesus is the only way to your life, then by saying you are believing in Jesus, you should actually sacrifice all your stuff in this world that you love so much, and then follow Jesus. You need to not follow your ambitions anymore. You need to like give out your family if you need to. I mean, not saying that you should give out family, but that whole if if you are a Christian, you need to follow Jesus, and you shouldn't have any things that cling to you so much that stop you from following Jesus. If you need to voice out to your parents that you want to be a Christian, you need to voice out. If they stop you to become a Christian, how firm are you in your faith, such that you can actually be presented worthy before God, and are you even confident enough to say that you are Jesus' disciple? Are you willing to sacrifice all the things that you love so much to follow Jesus? So I was a very new Christian back then. That point of time when I read these verses, I feel like, wow, this is a serious decision. It's a very big deal. If I really want to be a Christian, I need to give up my family, my ambitions, my life, basically. So I think that follow-up after I went to Geddit is very important, because it helps me to figure out this Christianity better. Without that Bible study, right, I would think that I can just keep going to church lor. I can just keep learning lor. I can just keep exploring, asking questions, but I would never be pushed to decide my stand. So that session was very helpful for me. I think it's also because of that I think after I became a Christian in that year, I go to church, I go to GG. I also started to consider about baptism. People asked me to get baptized, and then that was a very impactful event to my life, because in non-Christian circle, right, baptism is a very big deal. People would think that, if you get baptized already, then you no return, you're like official Christian. You cannot go back to become a Buddhist again. So when I was asked to get baptized, I don't think I'm afraid, because I'm quite certain that I'm a Christian already. The thing that I'm very hesitant is how to tell my parents, because my parents, they are very traditional, religious Buddhist. So I talked to my mom on the phone about how I want to be a Christian. She was a bit angry, but more sadness, because she thinks that if you are now a Christian, you are like a betrayer of the family. You are not loyal to us. But because I'm the more mature child among my siblings, so eventually she also allowed me to get baptized. And that whole conversation just got me to think through about my decision to become a Christian again. Am I really into this? This is a serious decision. If I am hesitant, does it mean that I actually don't want to be a Christian? Am I firm enough to tell my parents I want to be a Christian because God is important, God is my God? So I decided to get baptized, and it was 1 year after I became a Christian. And my GG leader, my growth group leader, he talked to me, and then he asked me how am I doing as a Christian. Then it was a very simple process. Like, if I'm a Christian, naturally I would want to get baptized. The hard thing is just the parents thing lah. But after that, it's quite okay. And I can remember on that baptism day, all of us need to say the script, right? I can still remember how it's about proclaiming your faith to the world and show the world that you are a follower of Jesus and you are committed to renounce all evil and be committed to his church, to share this gospel to people around you, to serve the church, to love God's people. Yeah, that corporate proclamation with my other baptism candidates is very remarkable, because it's showing the world that we are into this, and if one of us we betray this, like we don't live out what we said, then we need to be rebuked, and the church is there to keep us accountable. Yeah, when I went down to the water and then I get up, and then yeah, it's a very significant moment, because now I actually it's not like before baptism I'm not committed, but that event itself is a moment where I can recall in the future. So when I was struggling in my Christian life, I can actually recall the day I was getting baptized and understand why am I into this religion, not religion, but yeah, into this Christianity. And I think that event would always be a very good reminder whenever I struggle. Yeah, so this is my life, like after Geddit, getting baptized. Yeah, and then after that, just it's a very natural process to just go to church every week. It's not a mundane thing to do, like very routine thing, but I know that going to church is for a Christian to grow in the word, and slowly you get clearer and clearer what you are believing in, and trying to live out a life together with the people